Okay. Looks like everything's live. Says it's live, says excellent connection. So we are going to run with it. Hopefully it's correct. I don't know if it was last time. I think I'm having a video card issue. I need to check that out. I'm on a Mac Mini. It's not exactly the most powerful tool for the job for sure. And I definitely like power tools. So it's a little bit frustrating. I may have to upgrade that at some point. But for the moment, I wanted to talk a little bit about Kajabi. So I have an online business where I create courses for content. I've been teaching at universities for a couple of decades. So a lot of the content that I would teach at universities, I am bringing to YouTube and to my business. And through that, I have had a lot of trial and error. I've played with a lot of different platforms and programs to see what's out there. Some of them are great. Some of them are not so good. Some of them aren't worth the headache. Some of them I feel like you're trading time for money. For example, WordPress. WordPress is super powerful. You can do a lot of things to it. It's got a lot of moving parts, but it takes a lot of time to set things up the way that you want them if you're going to use it for to run courses, to run programs through email marketing. It's got all of these different plugins that you need to set up to get working right. Well, you're trading time then for money, in my opinion. So I looked at all the different options and how much I was willing to trade off my time for saving some money, and found someone or something that was kind of middle of the road. And so for me, that was Kajabi, and I'm really happy with it. Definitely not the cheapest option out there, but for my needs and my use, it's been really great. So chat rate. I have someone chatting. Very cool. I have no idea where I can see that on here. Unfortunately, I will figure it out here in a second. So if you chatted, I am trying to I'm in OBS. So I'm trying to find where that would be. I don't know. Well, I may have to look. Open in studio. Oh, it might be there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That helped a lot, a whole lot. Okay. So what I was saying is I'm using Kajabi. I like it for a lot of reasons. Excuse me if you can hear my chair squeaking over here. It's hitting the desk over here. But so I love Kajabi for a lot of reasons. I use it to run my business. I use it to run my email marketing. I use it as kind of an all-in-one platform, and it's been great for that. But there's definitely some learning curve with it. One of the learning curves has been in building a funnel. So what has been difficult about that is it doesn't necessarily, it wants you to use their templates every time out of the box. And it doesn't make it super clear that you don't have to use their templates, or what the repercussions may be if you don't use their templates. So some of their templates are great. Some of them I have spent a lot of time working on my own designs, my own templates, and want to use those. So when I had a funnel where I wanted to use, it was actually a template that I purchased, but then just modified the crud out of. I wasn't able to easily do that. So instead of setting up the funnel like they've got it set up, what I did was I would just link everything together, almost like a old school hyperlinking type of thing, like we used to do in like 2013. So that worked. I mean, it definitely worked. I had automation set up so it would automatically lead to the next step that I wanted in my funnel. But they have this thing in here for funnels, and it would be great if we could actually use the thing that they have set up already for us. So I watched some YouTube videos, of course, because that is where I go to learn how to do the things that I do. And I found some great tutorials on how to use your own templates in place of the pages that they've got there. Okay, that was great. So I did that and I got all excited. What they don't tell you is when you import your landing pages, your existing landing pages into that funnel, it copies it over there and it doesn't look like you can get it back out. I can duplicate the page from in there, but that took me hours to figure out. Slightly freaking out because I put my sales page in there, which I've really spent a lot of time and effort
making it look like the way I want it to look. But if I ever want to use it in a different kind of funnel, because the funnel I have is associated with an event, then that was going to be problematic. So I have spent literally all day. I was planning on doing a lot of other things today, but instead I have spent all day figuring this out. Now that I have figured it out, I want to share it, because if I don't, if I can help someone not spend all day doing this, that would be great. So let me move over to Kajabi and show you what I've got here. So when you go in, I think it's here, or actually you can also go into marketing. I'm not going to go into email campaigns because I don't want to show people's private emails. And I almost just hit it. When you go into funnels, you can set up different kind of funnels. This was the funnel that I ran to my last event, but now I'm trying. Well, I learned, okay, let me start over. I'm all overexcited. So I used this funnel in my last event. I did not think I could change the event, but you can. So I was able to go ahead and make it look like I wanted to, and then change the event in it, which is great because then I can kind of keep this funnel, because as you can see, it's had some decent results here. So what you do when you do that is you go down here, and it doesn't look like you could actually change the oops, and I already did it wrong. Sorry, here. And it doesn't look like you can actually change the automations, but you can. So it looks grayed out, right? And it's got a little do not disturb sign here. So it doesn't look like you can change it, but you can do it. So when that form is submitted, you can actually go down here and change the event. Right now I've cleared them all out because I had too many in there, and change which event you want it to go to, save it, and then that changes your event here, which is great because earlier it did not look like it could change it. Every time I went in here, it was like, this event is already passed. You can't make any changes. Kind of frustrating. The other thing is when you first go into a funnel, so let me show you this one, which I just popped up here because it was pre-made. It gives you all of these pages, which is that, I'm in the webinar funnel. It gives you these pages that are pre-created. They're templates for you. And it's not the look I'm going for. It's not my brand design. I just didn't want to use these. So I couldn't figure out, well, now I'm hovering over it, so now I see it. But at the time, I was clicking on these 3 buttons, and I could edit details, and I could edit the page, but I could not figure out how to actually replace the page that I had already created. So like I said earlier, I was just creating automations to go back and forth between it, just so I had this webinar room. The webinar room was the main thing that I wanted to have there. Because from there, you can actually use OBS, which is what I'm using right now, and YouTube Live, and run a live webinar from here in your own space, which is great because a lot of places that allow for this and that you're allowed to do webinars in are extremely expensive. So being able to have my own and bring in my own people and have only the limitations of what YouTube Live would be was super powerful. You just run it unlisted, so you're not actually showing it live like this one is right now, and it works great. There is a slight bug in it. It was a hiccup the first time I tried it, where sometimes if you're a newer channel, which of course this one is, it will make it so you can't embed. So as soon as you start it, you just need to go back in there and check mark allow for embedding of this live, and then suddenly it embeds in here again. So long story short, because I'm waffling all over the place right now, when you create a funnel, you go to new funnel, create whichever kind you want. I was using legacy funnel webinar. And when you go in there, you can choose pre-recorded or live. Live is the one where I mentioned a minute ago, if you use an unlisted YouTube, and I've actually got a video on that on my channel. Once I'm done, I can put it in some kind of show notes. But you use your unlisted YouTube Live URL, and you can run a live webinar there. You can do an event page where people sign up. They get all the information. You put them into your funnel from there. Works great. Works really great. As long as you know how to fix that little bug. And it's a small bug. It's literally as soon as it starts, you just go in there, recheck. What happens with this bug is it unchecks. They allow it to be embedded. So you go in there and you recheck it. It embeds again. Bob's your uncle. Works great. This time, so I've run this live webinar twice. I wanted to actually And I recorded it both times. I actually kind of want to run it one more time because I still think it could be better. But in the meantime, over the holiday season, I'm just going to use my pre-recorded webinar that I had run live twice and have it on there as a thing that people can go to and learn about what I do, and then potentially join my class on how to podcast. So this time I did pre-recorded webinar and I generated the funnel. I don't want to do it again because when I do that, it creates all of these web pages again. So I'm just going to back out of that real quick and go back to my funnel. It creates the one that I just showed you. It creates this one. This is what happens when you generate a pre-recorded funnel. And then you can go in there and you can edit everything. Okay, that's great. But if you don't want to use those, then what do you do? This is what I have spent all day figuring it out. You kind of hover over this. And when you get over it, see, it's already not wanting to do it again. When you get over it, you can actually add pages. See, add page. And then when you've added a page, you can either do a new landing page and you use one of their templates, or an existing landing page, which is what I did, and it will put it in here. And once you've done that, you can reorder it. So, oops, I clicked not on the 3 buttons. Let's go back. So if you click these little 3 buttons here, you can reorder it so you can move it up and down. So it doesn't really matter where you add the page. You can excuse me, you can reorder it. So that is what I did. Now, one thing that I did not realize, and it wasn't doing correctly at first either, so it was kind of stressful, was once you have done that and you have moved that landing page into your funnel, it no longer is a selectable landing page on anything else. So if you're trying to run a form to it or anything where you're like, select this landing page to do this thing, it's not a selection anymore. And that was really freaking me out because I have forms and things that I wanted to have my sales page become a selectable page for, and I suddenly wasn't able to select it anymore. So that was very stressful. I have learned since then that you can actually go in here and duplicate the page, and that calmed me down once I was able to do that, because once you can duplicate the page, that page actually goes back. Here, let me show you, because that was my sales page that I ended up duplicating. If you go back into your website, into your landing pages, it does duplicate it. So it is here again. So, whew, which is very good because that was a little bit nerve-wracking. But that is something that I at least wanted to make other people aware of, because that's kind of a scary thing, right? If you suddenly have made all of these changes, this is something that you're happy with, you know how to get to it, you know how to run things to that, and it's suddenly gone and disappeared. That is a frightening, scary thing for hours and hours and hours of your life that you have put into the creation of said landing page. But you can duplicate it. It is still there. It just isn't going to look like it in the beginning. So it is there. That's something that I Googled and could not find anyone else talking about. And I'm like, how is nobody freaking out about the loss of their landing pages? But that is why. The other thing that I have learned, and this could be a very template specific thing. So hopefully I haven't made any changes there that I didn't want to save. I don't think I did. I think I just clicked through. When you do an event that's pre-recorded, it gives you this weird like sliding page that is not how it looks to people coming into your event. They only see like one of these boxes at a time. Right now I've got these going every 15 minutes. So that way people can always jump in if they want to. So they just see a countdown, and then when it's ready, they can join it. When that counts down to 0, they can join it. And at that point they can actually, they have the controls. They can stop, start, watch it. And then after that has ended, the event has ended, then they can go into the course if they want to go into the course, and then just a note, which does appear on all of the pages. But that was another thing. When you first get in there and you're looking at this page and you're thinking, how in the world is that? Like, how do I even edit this? How does this look when people see it? It is a sliding page that is not visible to everyone. It's visible to people as they click through the different steps of it. So that is another thing that I just want to ease people's mind about, because if you came in here like I did and you're like, what the heck is this? That is what this is. But one other thing that I found, and I've only played with it on this template, so I do not know if this holds for their template. I know that their template, they being Kajabi's template, does the same kind of sliding scale thing. So I imagine it would be the same, but it's something I need to play more with. Is when you run a live event, you can have your offer pop up at a certain time. So to do that, you would do during the event, and then this is where you put your video in, and this is where you put your video image in. You can actually select if you want to give people the controls to be able to stop and start the video or not. I want to go ahead and give people that control because I know for myself, my ADHD brain does not like to not being able to that was some great English. My brain does not always like not being able to control that. So I want to be able to stop and start. I want to be able to take my dog out if he needs to go and still be able to get the content that I'm actually there for. So, I do give people that the ability to have those controls. My point being here is you can have your offer pop up in a live at a certain point, like 30 minutes into the live, your offer will pop up underneath your video. People can go to it, they can click into it and see what the offer actually is. You're supposed to be able to do that on this one as well. But when you do that, and I usually do it, I was doing it at 30 minutes. When you do that, for some reason, it makes your timer disappear, and I'm not sure why. So when I save this, you'll see that my timer will disappear, and oops, it's because I did the wrong one. Let's see. Not the countdown offset. I apologize. I am talking about time reveal. That is when you're supposed to be able to say, okay, during this event, at this many minutes, I want my offer to pop up. So when you do that, it will make this disappear. And that can be scary and annoying and difficult, and I don't know why it does that. So it's something that I'm still having to figure out. If you guys know why that is, because on the live events, it works great. It does pop up. On the not live events, it does not pop up. So I'm not sure what that is or why that is, but it can be a little bit difficult. So long story short, my stories are never short, unfortunately. To create a funnel, it's a few things that I learned today in all of my spelunking from 8 o'clock this morning till 2 o'clock this afternoon. I have been really trying to figure out what's going on and how all of this works with the funnels and being able to use my own page in the funnels and my own creating a webinar experience for people that feels professional, authentic, and produced. Those are the three things that I really wanted people to experience. Because I tell the people in this class, I used to tell my students as well, that if I can see the technology in your story, the story has failed because you're being blocked by the technology. Something's pulling you out of the experience. So I don't want people to be pulled out of the experience. I want them to feel like they're in a curated, produced experience in this webinar that will hopefully teach them then how to podcast and launch their podcast by 2025. So when you get in there, if you use Kajabi, it is totally possible, but they don't make it super easy. They make it a little bit wonky. So you create a funnel, you go all the way down to legacy templates. Here, I'll pull this up again. You go all the way down to legacy templates when you create a funnel. So scroll down, legacy funnels, and then hit webinar. And at webinar, you then get the option to have a pre-recorded or a live. I've been doing lives this whole time and driving traffic to those live events. This time I'm doing a pre-recorded produced from those live events. So once you have done that, what you get is this template, which to me was clinical and boring and looks like something I've seen in every other one. So I wanted something a little bit more branded to my brand. And I wasn't sure how to do that. I wasn't sure how to add the automations. I wasn't sure. Well, now, of course, I scroll over, it says add page, but I didn't see that then. But you can. So what you do is you go in there. The webinar will be the event that you created for it. And in that webinar, you've got the event actions. So the emails that go before and after that action, you've got where people can sign up in your sign up page. And when they do that, they are automatically, again, automation, put into this event automation where they get the registration email. And then, again, here's the link to where you're going to be. Then this is the actual event, and then a replay if they didn't miss it, and then just your pitch at the end. So that is the event actions that I have there. And then my template that shows the whole event here. So it takes them step by step through the countdown. They can actually click in and join it, the video that they watch, the ability to go into the course that I am telling them about at the end of the video, because this video is how to podcast. So it takes them through about 40 minutes of how do you set it up, 5 different steps. And then if they want more depth into it, because it's an overview, you can't do that much in an hour. So it's an overview of that. And at the end of that, then they are given the opportunity to go into a course that I have that will help them learn how to podcast by 2025. It's a course that I've taught at university for many, many years. And then just a note, how to do that. So in the funnel, they go to the webinar. The next step that they click through after the webinar is the sales page. So then they get the sales page of the course that they can go through. And then if they have purchased the course, then they get a thank you page and then are brought into the member area for that course. So Kajabi is great because everything is all in one place. I really am happy with it. All of your email marketing, all of the forms for email marketing, all of the automations. I don't have to bundle things like Kit and WordPress or Show It or and then a course, another program that I can run my course through. It's all here. So my coaching is all here. My courses are all in this program. All of my email marketing, everything, my analytics, all of it is run through Kajabi, which I love. I'm really happy with it. I haven't had any deliverability issues with their email marketing so far. I'm just really happy with the program. This is an aside, but I'm sure you've seen it all over YouTube right now. They are running a 50% off Black Friday sale, which I wish I'd had when I signed up. I just signed up with a free 30-day trial. I wish I'd had the Black Friday 50% off for a year. So if you would like to try out Kajabi, there's a free trial, which I think is still 30 days, and then you get 50% off for a year. So if you want to try that out, I will put the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which doesn't cost you anything more. It gives me a little bit for advertising it to you. You guys know how affiliate links work. So it is a great program. I've been using it to run my entire business. I am super happy with it. There are just a few little things that you have to figure out with any new platform that you're learning, and the funnel today and the little hiccups that's taken me like a full day to figure out. And that doesn't include the creating of the templates. All of my landing pages were already completed and finished. I was just trying to figure out how to link them, how to bring them into a funnel if that was even possible without having to create other automations to link them, not in one like funnel that they had pre-generated. It is possible. It does move your stuff in there. It will make your landing pages look like they've disappeared. You will freak out for a little bit until you realize that you can duplicate them. It is okay. Once it duplicates them, it puts them back into your main landing page area. Everything is good. The other thing now I just need to figure out is why my offer is not offsetting. And it could be too that I've got this running every 15 minutes. It could be the time that I want it to offset is confused by the time, with the time that I have it running. It may think that, well, how can I do it every 30 minutes if it's running every 15? That doesn't make sense. So it's very likely just something like that is a computer programming timing issue. I think that's probably the most likely answer because it does work when I'm running it as a one-off live event. Okay, well, I am going to stop waffling on because I have been waffling for a minute here. That's what happens when we go live, is it's just nice tangent after tangent. And wish you guys a wonderful holiday season if you are observing this holiday. If you are not, just have a great November. And I will see you on the next live or pre-recorded skill set. I'm here to try to help you amplify your voice and teach you the tools to do that because it's something that I have been loving and doing since about 2000, so for some time now, playing in the digital spaces and learning all the digital tools. And I just think it's one of the most fun things ever. So have a great rest of your week and happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.